Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Jen. We're just two run-of-the-mill casting directors looking to have a little fun while tearing down the curtain on casting, the process, and how the sausage gets made.
So many misconceptions have come from outside sources, so we're here to clear the air and make sure everyone gets a full picture of all that goes into casting your favorite TV shows and films. All the while, we'll be drinking some amazing cocktails and spilling the tea on some of the most outrageous stories we've come across in our careers.
Maybe we'll even bring on a few exciting guests along the way.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing good. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Tipsy Casting. I don't know. We're on the early side today, so what are you guys drinking?
I'm having really strong green tea. It's a blend of several green teas. I put a whole bunch of loose leaf into a French press, and it looks like a milkshake. And I bet that was a way longer answer than you were expecting about what I'm. And Aaron, I bet you did. Did you do your kettle pot?
Oh
espresso?
yeah, I got mocha pot espresso, got a whole thing, and pre-workout because I hit the gym earlier. So I am caffeinated beyond. Yeah.
Amazing. I have locked into my Jen. Has Jen frozen for you?
Oh yeah, I thought she was just really enjoying what we were saying.
This is like the extra smile. Hopefully she'll join us soon. Oh, nope, she's just left entirely. Hold, please.
I like
It's going
her.
great.
I'm
She would,
sorry.
me too. Hopefully she'll join us again.
I don't know if this is I mean, your head's partially covering it, but your background, but it's like you have wine bottles set up as like trophies, and I like that.
They are
Yeah.
all my trophies.
Yeah.
So when we first started recording, I had a pipe burst in my kitchen during COVID, and I had to renovate my whole place. And so it's lovely now because it's basically all new. But for the longest time, it was just like white sterile walls everywhere. And I thought I was in an insane asylum for a long time. But slowly I started to add collections. So for the first season, all it was just like a white backdrop in like a kitchen corner, and that was it. And so finally I've like added a little bit of color, put a bar behind, and now it feels very on brand, you know?
It's great.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Where is this chick? Hold on one second. Her Zoom cut out. Are you coming back?
McQueen, are you supposed to have that stick inside right now? You aren't, but I'm gonna let you do it because you're being so good. But if you take that inside on the couch and spread it all over with dirt, angry.
What kind of dog is McQueen? Is she what kind of breed is she?
I mean, we got her when she was 10 weeks old. She was like a little mutt we could hold in our hands, and she kind of it was fun. She looked like a little Rottweiler when we got her because her pattern. And we got her DNA done, and she's like, I mean, she's a mutt. She was found nursing in an abandoned building in Bakersfield or something like that.
Oh,
But she's a full-on mutt, and we got her DNA done, and she's it was something like 30% border collie, 20% Australian shepherd, and then like 1% of every dog breed that ever existed. Like, from Chihuahua to Saint Bernard to like everything.
How accurate you ran before you did the DNA test, you did the AI photo test. How accurate was that? It was wrong, right? Or was it dead on?
So when she was, I don't know, when she was like 2 months old, I did the AI version where instead of taking your DNA, you just take a photo and put it through AI. And AI was actually pretty far off. Because AI just thought she was a Rottweiler, and she's not any Rottweiler. And AI, the only thing AI got right, I think AI did predict Australian Shepherd, but it was way less. It was like mostly Rottweiler. So anyways, they just go to show, like, I think those AI dog breed determiners, I think they just go off. I think they primarily go off a fur pattern and color.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like,
just fair.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
I know I have one. I know what I've got two, and one is a Formosan mountain dog, which sounds a lot bigger than she is. She's like 30 pounds, but she came from Taiwan and from Dogs Without Borders, so I know exactly what she is. But I have another one that I was fostering at the top of the year, or I guess a year ago now, but he's official family now, and I think he's a German Shepherd Staffy mix, but I think like he's a
Wow.
big boy.
He's gonna be really
Huh?
smart and a really good guard dog.
Oh yeah, he's so protective of me. I like the other one is so skittish that I was always nervous about being on the street with her at night. This one. That's
Oh my
Tux.
God. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to be nervous at all on the street.
No.
Takes a look at that.
Yeah, and he's so protective. Like it's probably a little bit too much. What's going on as she was starting?
I wish I could just lead a completely different life sometimes, which would be I would be a recluse living in the woods with my wife. And one of the other like, but the reason that this that I would want this is because I would be a Mastiff guy. You can't do that. Like, I mean, I guess it's possible in the city, but it's like it is a complete lifestyle, and I would need to give it a very fun, Mastiffy life, you know. And
I just all I think about is the amount of drool that dog has.
Yeah, or a Great Dane or something, just like one of those massive.
Yes. Have you seen like the Irish Hound? Like they're oh God,
Are they like wolves?
They look like it. They don't look like wolves, but they look like they're first of all they're massive. They're like I don't know almost 200 pounds. Like they're big dogs. And it's oh God, I'll have to find a photo of it later, but they're gorgeous, and it lays its head in your lap, and it's like the size of your lap is just the head essentially. But yeah, it's so yeah. But I always think of like Turner and Hooch. Yeah.
Love those dogs.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Great Danes are so interesting.
They're amazing.
Like they're so just like
they're just
like
they're gentle giants. That's you know.
They always have this posture and expressions of like just being like, oh my God, how am I this big? But I'm a little dog in a giant body all the time.
Yeah. There's a Great Dane at the dog park that we go to, and he was trying to play with Lucy, who's the 30-pound dog. And the dog walker was just like, Squishy, you're just bullying her. Stop it. I was like, what a great name for a Great Dane.
Justin had this great idea for a t-shirt with a picture of a Great Dane, and it says only the good die young.
Oh,
because you know how they only live for like 6 or 7 years or something.
Yeah, that makes me the saddest about them.
Or like an animated movie called 7 Years a Dane.
Bad.
I'm here. I'd like to cast that one. Thank you.
Yeah, stop being in the moment.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Zoom show. We're on the same topic you left.
Sorry, I was like,
No, it's okay.
I don't know. Literally, my Zoom just shut down, and I was like, "What just happened?"
If you lose connection again, do you want us to keep on answering our question or just pause?
You can just keep answering.
Okay, cool.
I'll dive in. Something about dogs. We're at dogs for something.
No, we took a sidestep to dogs, but go ahead.
Update. So McQueen has moved up to branches. She knows she wants to bring anything in, but now she sees that Aaron is sitting here and that I'm distracted. So she's bringing
and I'm just petting them.
Many trees in as she can.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, so we could dive back in now. Since we're all probably drinking morning beverages, we can just jump to the good stuff of your lovely origin stories.
Yeah. Let's see. I grew up in San Diego. I know San Diego County is kind of a big place, but near downtown San Diego, and went to high school down there. I don't think I graduated high school, but then I went to community college, discovered I really liked academics, somehow did really well in community college, applied to UCLA and Berkeley, got into both, went to UCLA to go study film, got out, kind of floundered at it, wasn't really sure how to get into the business. Like I had taken an internship for a producer who had a first look deal at Warner Brothers, and that kind of became my trajectory. And I was like, well, I'm probably never going to want to be like a studio exec or anything like that, or even work for a producer with a deal or anything. So I was like, oh, I should find a backup plan. So I moved back home to San Diego, waited tables to take the LSAT to eventually go to law school. Discovered that I would hate being a lawyer, so changed my course to going pre-med. Went back to school to do all my pre-med prerequisites. Did what was called a post-bachelor pre-medical program at the Claremont colleges. And when I was done with that, and I got into a medical school, I had a year off in between, and I was like, you know what? I'll just move back to LA, and I'll just try a bunch of stuff in filmmaking I had never tried before, interning at commercial companies and things like that. And then that's where Aaron and I met. I was at the time I was interning at RSA, I was interning at Smuggler, and I was working nights as a bartender at a restaurant called Church and State. That was, I don't think it's still there, but it was in the Arts District downtown. Aaron and I met at the RSA internship, which was just pushing around mail and like getting people their lunches and stuff. But then we just started making more and more films together. We thought we wanted to be commercial directors, so we made like a spec ad reel commercials, and we would try to make.
We still do. But
Yeah, we still do.
Nobody hires us, please, if you're listening and want to give us an ad.
And then we saved up some money. We saved up. It was like roughly like $22,000 to make our first feature resolution, and made it in a little vacuum. Aaron and I developing it, auditioning with the actors and all that fun, the really fun stuff. Went to set, shot it with a standing crew of about 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the largest, like 14.
Yeah. One night we brought in some help for like the finale. Yeah.
Did post mostly just ourselves, but we did meet like our re-recording mixer, this guy Yael Dooley. He kind of became like invented our style of sound, and we just remained working with him to this day. And it died. And then you're working.
Well, actually, I just didn't quite realize that how much of the post on resolution we did, besides what Yael did, because there was no music, so we didn't yet work with. Although we did have Dan Martinez do a song for the end credits.
Yeah.
But we cut it, we colored it, we did the VFX. Are we missing anybody? I feel really bad if I'm like forgetting someone, but man, that's a small crew.
The post was really small.
Yeah. Yael hired out some other people that we were, anyways. But sorry, I was just realizing that it was a post crew of 3. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I'm sure we're forgetting someone and we're just total jerks. But so I'm from Florida, in this town called Tarpon Springs, which is near Clearwater, the world headquarters of Scientology. And I was in 6th grade when I met this kid. Do you know the musical artist Bertie Higgins? He sang this song,
No.
Key Largo, and another one called Casablanca, and you've definitely heard it at some point. And but anyways, Bertie, his sons Julian and Aaron, I just became friends with them during middle school. And one day they were just like, hey, you want to like see what like stop action filmmaking is? And they showed me like their stop action films and how to make them with like Star Wars action figures. And for me, it was like instant. It was just like, I like went, in my memory, in my parents' memory, I like went home and I was like, I'm going to be a filmmaker. And it just like, that was it. And so like, I was just pretty obsessive about that. And I got into the Florida State Film School and had most people don't have great film school experiences. They feel like it's a waste of time or something. Mine was awesome and formative, and I love them still, and think that everyone should get out of film school what I did. And then the story's already been told because I moved out from from Tallahassee to Los Angeles, and one of my first days as an intern was when I met Justin, and you heard that. Right? Yeah.
So was your partnership like the first film you did that you're talking Resolution, I think you said it was called, was that something that you guys were like, let's test the waters to see if we can like do this together as like a partnership, or how did that kind of come to be? And then how did it go after that?
Oh, good question. Actually, we had done several projects together already. And again, it was just like, believe it or not, people go out and they go make fake commercials that are uncommissioned, like and to build up a commercial reel, and we were those guys. We're out like and like helping each other out and doing those things, and we just it's funny because we never, until Resolution somehow got into like a top tier film festival and somehow it sold and suddenly we had a foot in the door as filmmakers, making a living as filmmakers. I don't think we never like formally said like yeah, we're a directing team now. But it's like I usually hate it when people use the word organic. It truly just happened like organically.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, and then here we are. This is how we do good, gratifying work, and we work very well together and increase each other's quality of life as opposed to increasing conflict or.
Yeah. What do you think is like, because it's, usually in partnerships, there's one person that excels at one thing and the other one sort of fills the gap on the thing that they're not as strong in. Like, what is that balance for you guys?
I mean, it definitely exists, but it's not like a massive deficit in any way. It's more like proclivities rather than talents, I suppose. But Justin's an insanely talented writer. He writes everything we do. I develop it. I do my own writing, but not for our professional work. And I handle like the technical side of cinematography, but also like Justin's taste and knowledge in camera and stuff like that is equal to my own. And it's just it's something where it's like it's not really that we're filling out deficiencies. It's just like where we kind of like gravitate towards. And it's funny, it's like we have the same taste, but not the same viewpoint, I guess is a way to say it, so we can hopefully always surprise each other with interesting so there's nobody that's redundant, it's
Right.
we can keep on surprising. And a lot of it is also just besides the fact that it's just so lonely as a solo director and it's hard to know if you're crazy. It's like a sanity check in a way where it's like you just have somebody you can really trust. If you say like, is this too crazy? They can say, that's not too crazy, but it doesn't work, or they can say, or they can say, no, it's not crazy enough and that kind of thing. And we're pretty sure that when we make decisions together, we have a decent amount of confidence that once that's happened, that it is the right decision. There's not, if it's kind of survived our own little battle test of the two of us, it probably is a good decision, at least for us.
Another interesting thing, actually, you asked this question, and I just realized too, a huge advantage of there being two of us, especially when it comes to directing, is oftentimes now we're on these shows that are like, literally over 100 days of production. That's not even pre-production. And not even post.
Wow.
Over 100 shoot days, oftentimes, 5 or 6 days a week. And everyone has expression, anyone can have a bad day. And that's true of everyone, especially directors. And you might have a day where you didn't get great sleep the night before, or for whatever reason, you're not as cognitively sharp as you are on another day. Well, because there's two of us, directing department never has a bad day. Someone's doing fine. And I think that it's funny because it does increase the quality of the of the work when it's like, there's it's extremely statistically unlikely you're both gonna have a bad day on the same day, but every day isn't
right.
and you get something that goes a bit smoother.
That's
or at least
amazing.
Probably save people a lot of money. I don't know.
Right. One of those two things. I am curious though, because both of you have dabbled in acting as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? What was the motivation there? Was it peaked because of your directing work, or how did that sort of go for you?
I know I think we both have like collegiate experience directing, or not directing, acting, and acting classes outside of college and things like that. It's always something, I think if you're into filmmaking, it's probably something most filmmakers gravitate towards to some extent. I think we both have a very, very genuine love and respect for it. It's the best job on set, but the sort of thing where we ended up, now we've been the lead, I think, of 2 movies, and we have lots of supporting roles and lots of other stuff. That was just being extraordinarily fortunate enough that the supporting roles we did in our work early on and other work he had seen made our collaborators, our producer David Lawson, everyone had enough faith in it that we could develop these films, the films that we've been leads of, for us, and we could be together rehearsing for months at a time, and using rehearsal and using acting as a way to further develop the story and the script itself, and having each other always available to do that. That's been like, I don't know, I could say with certainty, actually, we wouldn't be talking to you right now if if we hadn't been fortunate enough to have those opportunities. But yeah, you were in a play in kindergarten.
Yeah, so I had a lot more experience than you walking in. Yeah, it was pretty great. I was on a day in college.
Wow.
I moved a table into the background and said, "Her ladyship is ready to commence."
And still the delivery
Hand
to
you
this
the Oscar
day.
now.
Yeah.
There's also another funny thing about, or one of the funny things about being a director actor is that even when you go on jobs that you're not acting in anything in it, you have a slightly better relationship with the actors in the piece, because they feel that probably that kinship that a lot of actors feel with each other. They have a little more faith that you understand that how they're feeling, where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I think.
Also,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's just that it's also nice that you can give direction that isn't great direction to a performer, if they know you're a performer, because they kind of understand where it's actually coming from, and it's not coming from like, I need my shot to be like this. It's like they understand that there's like there's thought given to what we're asking of them, because they assume that we wouldn't ask it of ourselves, or we would ask it of ourselves.
Yeah. I think it's so valuable to have a filmmaker that has, even if it's just taking a couple of acting classes, to really be able to put yourself in the position of the actors that are on set. And also it's like, it's a completely different language, in terms of giving direction and redirects and all of those things. It's to be able to communicate in that language specifically, it's only going to help your making your day, or whatever it might be in that instance of getting that performance out of somebody.
Oh, for sure. And the inverse is true as well. I mean, I would strongly encourage anyone getting into acting, or anyone, even if you're an established actor, to go do a week on set of anything as a production assistant. And I think that can really give you perspective and help you everything from truly realizing that you have the absolute best job in the world and the best job on set as a performer. And also understanding that when you walk on set, like when you got there that day, you probably went to a trailer with really good smelling candles, and people were really nice to you, and they did your hair and all this stuff. But the other people, some of them got there before the sun was up at 4 o'clock in the morning to meet the site rep to pick up dog poop and scrape up bubble gum, and they'll be there for 15 hours or whatever. And just understanding that you're just so extraordinarily lucky to be there in that position. And also it's like I also can totally see how if there is the phenomenon of like, oh, just bad behavior on set. It can be anyone, but I feel like when it happens in the acting department, oftentimes it's just because like it's impossible not to be human, and everyone's telling you you're special, from your reps to your SAG contract to everything indicates that you are more special than everyone else there. That can result in behavior that's not great. But I think that if you go and you work on sets in production, again, as a PA, whatever, it just can give you perspective that'll make you like your job even more. And, prevent a Christian Bale moment.
Well, I think it also gives a perspective too, that like it's you appreciate the people who are doing the minutia little things that you're like, so that you don't walk in and just be like, hey, I'm here, let's go. Like it's not all about you. There are like all these other like pieces. And because I started in production when I very first started and got to be on set, and you're like, when you realize everyone, whatever, 100, 150 people are there, and they all have their own job to get one shot done. I think it's always very little bit humbling. And I think actors who like walk in thinking like, I'm here, let's go, you know, it's a bit like, simmer down there, sir.
Yeah, the I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah.
No worries. That's a great point, though. I don't think anybody's raised that point before on our podcast, which is a really cool perspective. I love that.
There's also the funny thing of like if someone shows up to set in any department, but you know, actors by nature are oftentimes, you know, you're a showman or you're more theatrical or whatever. But it's funny when like someone shows up and they're very loudly proclaiming their sort of leadership role on set in whatever way they do. And like if you ever just glance over at the grip and electric department when that happens,
Yeah,
not amused.
they don't care at all.
Oh my God. It's also interesting to see sort of this is sort of leaning into the negative a bit more than I'd like, but there are certain shows that you start to see how on-set people feel about how actors treat them based on what they look like on camera. So it's like there was one season of a show. I won't name the show, but there was a season of a show that the lead actress like starkly looked orange the entire season, and you're like, she wasn't very nice to her makeup artist or something.
Oh, that's where you're going.
That's
I couldn't
true.
follow your train of thought there for a
sorry.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, where is this going?
Yeah.
But it's just like you like the little things that you're like, wow, they intentionally did not make her look very good.
Yeah, well, it's also just I mean, what we're doing is simultaneously very important because it's art and incredibly unimportant because, you know, it doesn't cause society to physically function. And I think it's really, we need both of those ideas. We need to treat like for example, getting a great performance, like and fostering the things that are required to make that happen. We need to treat that as incredibly important. You know, it's not okay to just be like, all right, good enough, move on, whatever. You know, it's like, no, what people show up for is to watch great performances. And then also we like these ideas aren't in conflict is the other side of it, which is you know, this is just movie magic. This is fun. It should be fun. It can be. Movies are important, and yet also they are you know, in a totalitarian government, very easy to just flush down the budget drain. You know what I mean? Like it's like essential for human survival. It's just essential for our minds and spirits. So and we should just kind of like keep that in mind, like stay loose and you're willing to roll with imperfections, because every single day on set, also, by the way, be a PA, or like produce an independent film, like a no budget independent film where you're responsible for everything. And then you see where the wheels start coming off and how you know, how good or bad an actor would be at that job.
Receiving the porta potties at 4 a.m. gives great perspective on how you feel about your own job.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's that here we are.
Yeah. Oh, this is how this works, you know?
Right. This is quite literally the starting point. That's it.
Yeah. Also funny, actually, I just realized too, something that I think Aaron and I learned, one of the biggest lessons we learned from being actors ourselves is that probably the greatest thing you can do for an actor on set is just create an environment that allows them to work well. That's going to go so much further than like some magic word you said to them about something.
Yeah.
Just like making them feel like, do they need it quiet? But whatever it is that makes them feel loose and they can make those discoveries and they can be in a moment. That tends to be more, again, just setting a vibe on set, creating that environment more so than like a direct, like you just said this word, like, oh my God, now I get it. You know?
Well, actually, and that's, you know, it's funny as that goes into, you know, we're really sticklers for rehearsal. And I guess like that word we need a new word for that, because if an actor doesn't care for rehearsal because they feel like it's not going to be fresh or something, look, if that's your process, that's fine. You know, it's fine. But the reminder would be is rehearsal is not just for you, you know, like it's for everybody. It's for planning, because what we're doing every day is we're building a miniature city and then tearing it all down the next day, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like and so it's like it really helps for people to just kind of know what to expect And it doesn't mean that you have to like say every line. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you've spent time with other people so that they know how to do their jobs, rather than showing up and everyone's like, cool, the grenade just arrived. You know, is it gonna go off today? Which direction will it go off? You know? And so rehearsal doesn't have to mean sitting down with the lines and memorizing them and then saying them with your scene part. If that's just not your thing, it is definitely our thing. But if it's not your thing, it's still just like doing the prep work in a public setting. Not for everybody, but just like you prep, you have the conversations, you realize where the stumbling blocks are. So you're not just like there on set wondering what the hell just happened. And then be like, why aren't we rolling? Unless your theory genuinely that the job of the film is to capture your close-up. In which case I really don't care to work with you. You know, it's like it is all that you can go do theater.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm curious though, like to back up a little bit into the actual casting process, like how involved do you guys like to be and like how, because you can suss that out. We get asked that question as casting directors all the time, like from directors, producers, like, are they a good person? Are they easy on set? Are we going to make our days? Things like that. But how involved do you get from the beginning in both finding the right person, but also sussing out the proper personalities and people to have with you on set?
Get ready to be horrified. So we're going to take you through our journey through the world of casting from like movie to movie. And this is the part you're going to. So, you know, you ask how involved we are. When we made our first feature film Resolution, we remember cast CAZT.
Oh, yes.
We did it. We went there. We used our video cameras. We taped all the performances of people coming in. We put ads where we put ads like that.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's Breakdown Express or something. Yeah. I think that still exists, you know.
Still exists.
Craigslist maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, it's a $22,000 tiny independent film. So we have to be our own casting directors. And we took it very seriously. It was exhausting. Like we went through a lot of people. And I'll tell you, this is crazy. You know, we cast out a cast for a supporting role in our first movie, Zahn McLaren from Fargo.
Wow.
Reservation Dogs. Swear to, he just showed up to cast, and like at the time, I mean, he was doing work. He was working. He's always been working, but he wasn't, you know, working like he's working now. But he by far had like he just knocked it out of the park. His audition was just so clear it was him. And then he like came to our set in our $20,000 movie, and we were all staying in this Christian children's camp that rented the camp to us off season. And since he was like a guest star special person, we let him sleep in the nurse's station bed. It was nicer, like the kids' nurse station. And he like came in his motorcycle and everything. Such a lovely guy. But yeah, that was so Resolution. Our first movie was like literally going through cast, being our own casting directors.
Spring. We didn't. Oh, okay. Spring. I remember we cast ourselves. We didn't have a casting director, I don't think. But what was funny is we tried for the first time going through agencies. And here's the thing that we realized, and if the actors listening to this, is we gave them our script, and they didn't look for like a good fit at all. They just looked for the gender, and then just gave us the list of their entire list of clients. Just like that is so not useful.
Was it a coordinator or was it an agent?
It was a covering agent at all the agencies. So it sent us an email that just has the like any
entire
between like 20 and 40 that like everybody, and we're like, do you know that like there's a character description in the script and she's a very specific person, you know, like it's like, nope, here it is. And we're like, well, half of these literally can't work on just like a basic level, you know. So that one we ended up casting ourselves, although we did have an Italian casting director who helped us find Francesco and Francesco Carneluti and stuff like that.
And then but then after Spring, this probably brings in a person you know, probably. After Spring, and so Spring's out in the world, Resolution's out in the world. Sorry, Puppy McQueen's hunting flies and and cold, like that was a DM or a cold email out of nowhere. Who was there?
It was Mark Bennett.
Oh.
who we've just always loved his work. He did It Follows and The Hurt Locker, and such seminal films as The Endless and Synchronic. And but it was really cool, honestly, to just get a cold email from a casting director from where he just said, "I really like your work," and we, we felt seen and respected, and it was cool that it was like, oh, he's really digging around, like, to try to find like what's happening in indie world. And so, we grabbed some drinks with him, and we were just blown away. It just kind of, and here's the thing, why that worked so well, and this might sound obvious, but we realized if he likes our movies, then he has our taste. It's like pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't being presumptive, and he wasn't seeing it as like a money-making opportunity. It was like, I like their movies, and we have the same taste, so we should work together. And totally did.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he found us everyone on The Endless, right?
Yeah, on The Endless, he found us Callie Hernandez, Tate Ellington.
great.
By the way, it's funny, Tate Hernandez, he did that. Tate Ellington.
Oh, that's funny. We
His
love
wife
his
is a
wife.
casting director who's a
Yeah.
good friend of ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Jordan?
That's right. Yeah, Tate's wife,
Yeah.
Chrissy. Yeah.
Yeah.
James Jordan?
Yep, James Jordan.
Who was electric.
Yeah.
I know we're
Lizzie.
So were you involved in this process? Were you like, was it something where that he's like, here's, kind of who I'm thinking or whatnot? Like, then did you do callbacks? How involved were you in that? Or was it more of, because you seem to really like him. So was it something you're like, okay, just send me your favorite couple and we'll pick who we like?
Oh no, we were there for days of auditions, right? Or callbacks.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he sent us a round of tapes on that breakdown service, right? And then we whittled it down for callbacks.
Yeah.
Really interestingly, actually, we were looking back on that, and the over half of those actors, we probably would not have even been able to get them to go on tape if it were just us. We probably would have called up their reps, and their reps would have been like, "Who are you? What's the budget?" No.
Yeah.
Offer only.
Actually, question. There's a couple interesting like casting things we've hit in the past. Is this is getting really deep into the weeds of how this all works. But we found when we were casting some movies that never went, that in our and this is not necessarily true. This is just our experience. It was basically like, if the casting director is able to actually reach talent that can greenlight a multi-million-dollar movie, then those people are often producers. Is that true? That just happened to be our case, but it was just one of those things where it was like casting for sales value felt like it was more in the realm of producer in collaboration with a casting director, but that was just what the roadblocks we hit, so
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because, and I've said it on the podcast many times before, but like I started, Jess does too, but like we've started dabbling in producing because, especially since COVID and when the financing kind of dried up a little bit and it's harder to access the money, or we're all trying to access the same kind of money, it is cast. That is the thing that gets you your green light and your financing moving forward. So I do know like a lot of casting directors are now stepping into that producer role of like a creative producer, not a, day-to-day type person. But, and I think it's kind of needed because what was happening, especially coming out of COVID, was a lot of producers were coming to us or creatives and they're saying, hey, we have no money to give you. We have no development funding, but we need you to use all your connections. And from the flip side, kind of how that happened was the agents were like, oh gosh, there's this huge boom of quote unquote producers, directors, creatives that are trying to get their things made. They don't know if it's a USC student or somebody who's been working for 15 years, just hasn't, made anything and is coming back to the forefront. And so it's like, or in between, and so they would come and they'd be like, wait, is this legit? So there's a lot fewer casting directors. And so if your name is on an email or, there's a little bit of a misunderstanding of like that there's certain levels of casting director where if you're an XYZ casting director, you can only get to Matt Damon. You can only get to these people, where the baseline is most casting directors who have been around the block for quite a few years we all have access to the same agents, to the same actors in that respect. But yeah, so I think it kind of shifted when the agencies were like, oh shoot, we don't know who all these brand new crop of people are. So it's easier for us to go through a casting director we know to know that that movie is actually legit, because they were starting to run into the problem of attaching an B-list star to get the financing and then realizing, oh, this guy doesn't even have any connections to even find financing. He doesn't even know where to look, so I think that was kind of the shift, mainly coming out of COVID and whatnot, and now even more so with the strike, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very insightful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
No,
I was like, I hope that
because that was
helps.
baffling. It was kind of a baffling oddity,
Yeah.
of figure out exactly where, because there's a threshold that gets reached at a certain point, especially as movies, get more. I mean, they were always cast dependent for us, but like more and more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just going to get even, that element is going to be even more important. Like, I don't foresee it going back to any sort of whatever it was before, because it's like now, even you look at the film festivals, and now that there's such a demand for the fancy faces there, where that used to be the place where we could discover new talent, whether it was in front or behind the camera. And so now it's becoming so much harder to get into and more political, and all of those things to get into these film festivals, that it's not what it used to be by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
No.
I
I was gonna say, like, it's the other interesting thing that I've started doing, and I have a lot of friends who are agents and managers, so I hope I don't piss them off by saying this, but I'm kind of sick of them because they just have started to create so many blocks going up against anybody, pushing their film forward, because everybody knows that for some reason the agents, especially in LA, are like cock blocking productions from getting that financing just because they don't deem it real enough, or they don't see something like splashy enough for them to grab their attention. And so they're kind of gatekeeping to a whole new level that I don't think Jess or I have ever seen in our career. And so now I just have started like reaching out to actors directly, because I it is nice to have like casting director at the end of your name. They tend to like take you quite seriously, and then they'll look you up and make sure you're legit. But it's a lot easier to just go straight to the actor and be like, hey, I got this film. This is what, this is what it is. If you're interested, let me know. If not, no worries. But that's how my producing partner in London and I are like moving forward a lot, is because it's just easier to do it that way. The agents just kind of fuck it all up right now. So it's like, might as well just like use both personal connections and then swing back around with the professional as well to cover all your bases. But right now, especially at the big three, it's almost impossible for them to like take anything seriously unless you like, a producer friend came to me the other day and was like, can't I just lie and say that it's partially financed? I was like, no, because now they're asking for who's financing. It's like all these like extra questions that have come into play, probably I want to say in probably like the last year or so, Jess, like that all of this information that we didn't usually have to give, they're now like requiring for us to even like get the script on their desk, not even to offer it, because they have to read the script now ahead of time. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, that sounds very depressing.
No, I mean, I think it's always really interesting to talk about representation's dynamic with their performers and how they interface with producers or casting directors or whoever, because it's this weird thing where it's like we all have our frustrations of like, we want to get our thing done, we want to get it in the hands of this person who's going to greenlight the movie and all those things. But I also sometimes what I try to do when I get inevitably angry or frustrated about that process, especially early on in our career, it was always like the thing that stalled us out for sometimes years on a project, was just waiting for someone to get back to us. But like, if you think about it this way, it's kind of interesting. It's that like, let's say you rep Tom Cruise, and unfortunately I should know who reps Tom Cruise. I don't even know if he's at CAAW. I don't know. But let's say you do, right? And let's say Aaron and I send Tom Cruise's agent a script, and it's indie that the budget is $500,000. And he's like, and like, you just give it to Tom right away. He's like, yeah, of course, I'm gonna do it. And then he does it. He gives it to Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise reads our script for $500,000. And Tom Cruise goes back to his agent and he's like, that was a holy experience. That was the best script I've ever read. I'm doing that no matter what. And then the agent gets back to us and he's like, I really don't want to do this, but like how long's the shoot? And we're like, 6 months. And then Tom Cruise is like, I'm doing this movie no matter what. And the guy's like, this dude, the agent has to go to his boss, the head of that agency, and be like, you know that guy that makes us like $100 million a year? Well, this year he's only going to make us 50 million because I gave him a $500,000 indie film for these directors no one's heard of. And like, so I tried to think about, I was like, and also, I don't know if I should know this. I don't know if the big agencies are publicly traded companies, but like that's a discussion, like that's like a shareholder. That's like,
Oh yeah.
like these things could make huge earthquakes in the industry if they were mishandled. Anyways, it's like, but also, by the way, for the most part, it hasn't been trying to empathize using ridiculous hypothetical situations. For the most part, it's been like, you know, they had just read it sooner. We've been waiting for 2 years.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest thing about the industry, at least in my perspective, and it's part of the reason why Jen now lives in London, is the sort of the lack of respect in process. And that is like the hardest thing for me. Because like if you would just communicate with me, like I can take bad news, it's fine. I can give it to my filmmakers. I can make sure everybody understands how respectful it is that they're passing. But to wait, 6 months for something that no one still hasn't cracked open. I mean, there used to be a time where assistants would read scripts, and I don't know if that happens anymore. But like, it feels like just nobody's reading anything anymore, unless it comes with a big old dollar sign. And I understand like the landscape that creates that. But at the same time, there's got to be some sort of balance between the art and because that it is the truth is that, the stock market and the Wall Street has gotten so mixed up into our industry that it's sort of taken away from the craft of it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And there's also, and especially in this times of like, I think you would call what we're in right now in the motion picture business as a recession. Would you call it that?
Yeah.
Especially in these times, the material is, for the gatekeepers and all the powers that be, the material needs to become less risky because we're in tough times financially, and that totally makes sense. But it does make it frustrating to impossible as a creative to push things through that you really believe in, and that sucks. But it's gonna pop up somewhere. This is all gonna work out. And also I was just thinking like a silver lining or a bright side of something that's happened over roughly the last decade is that because of like it's like the coupling of technology and the spirit of do it yourself, just go do it. Those two things have really increased over roughly the last decade or last 20 years. So you end up with like, you end up with like a Moonlight, or you end up with Everything Everywhere All at Once. You end up with these movies that's like, especially in the case of Moonlight, we've had enough personal interactions and friendships with these people to know that they were actually just a group of people, had a bold story to tell. They got together, they did it with very little money, and then they're up stage getting an Oscar, and the movie's making money.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, and despite the fact that, it's getting harder and harder to get that bold material made in the industry, there's more opportunities than ever to actually get it done. It looks like a real movie, and you're upstage you're getting an Oscar for it. It's like, it's real.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you guys have a dream of what would be your Oscar script, or like what is your project that you're like hoping and praying comes either your way or that you create yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny is like it's not about, we're not just being cool when we say it's not really about Oscars. That just feels like so far away, right? But we've just kind of stewed in this same universe in which we made this film, The Endless, where we were the leads, and Resolution, our first film. It's all kind of an interconnected universe. They all connect in some way, and it would be just kind of nice to to make something that takes those ideas and makes them feel simultaneously like kind of what I was saying at the very beginning is like biblically important and also digestibly entertaining in a way that doesn't feel preachy. And you know, we'll keep at it, you know, as much as we can, because our movies do at least try to tell a larger story than the physical one that's on screen. And I think all movies should at least try that. And so, you know, it could always happen. But I just really doubt the Daniels were shooting Everything Everywhere and Barry was shooting Moonlight thinking, we're gonna win best film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes those films are shot and they kind of do. Like The Brutalist is probably going to win best picture. I haven't seen it, but it's like that looks like a movie that's trying to win best picture and it will be the best movie, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like it's this thing that connects because it's just so real. So yeah.
We sadly also, it's funny, when we first kind of got our foot in the door with our first movie Resolution, we're getting meetings and general meetings with companies all over town, and we have representation. We had like half a dozen books and comic books that were like, oh, what if we could make this? And in, you know, roughly the last 12, 13, 14, 15 years, we've had that foot in the door. Most of those things have gotten made and we'll never have a crack at it. So it's like but that also too though is like the longer we're at this, oddly developing, generating pre-existing IP or just anything that we don't self-generate, it just becomes less and less, not only less attractive, but less like, what's the point? Like we you know, these things are hugely inspirational to us and they've shaped us as storytellers, but like at this point like if we can just self-generate with our own style and we were lucky enough to have those inspirations, what's the point of having so many cooks in the kitchen, having to you know, work out like really complicated legal stuff, you know, like
apologies guys, we actually are out of time. I think you
Oh,
guys,
yes.
No worries.
Yeah.
Sorry, can we ask you one quick question before we go? Because we ask all our guests. It's very easy. It's if the world was ending tomorrow and you had one drink or cocktail to cheers the end of the world to, what would it be?
Fresh squeezed grapefruit juice.
Nice.
Love that. Love a good tart beverage.
That's good. I was assuming the question, it doesn't have, I mean, I don't know why it had to be alcohol. From my mind, I was like, yeah, alcohol.
Can be.
All right, if it were alcohol, I think it would be, I don't know, like wild turkey on the rocks.
Nice.
And then if it weren't alcohol, I would actually really like fresh squeezed grapefruit juice.
No.
There's only one
Aaron's
glass
already
left,
taken
and
it
it's
all.
Aaron's.
I would just do like fresh. I mean, fresh. I like fresh squeezed anything citrus, really.
Orange juice.
I do fresh squeezed orange
Okay,
juice.
that's fair. That's not what I think, so I'm good with it.
I see why this works. It's great. Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time, and it's nice to get a little FaceTime here since we're all isolated still somehow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
rest of your day. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Likewise, it was super fun.
Bye.
Bye.
If you love listening as much as we love sharing, click subscribe on our YouTube channel or find us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Thanks for listening.